Welcome back to another episode of Penny Help Jess. If you've been keeping up with the channel, you know that I am going through some of the penny rolls that my mother-in-law gave me. So anyone who ever wants to donate anything really, but pennies, is what I go through on the channel. Feel free to send them to my P.O. box. It's in the description below. All right, this is episode 443. And I could already see there is quite a bit of copper, and there is a very interesting one. You can't see it. Let me go like this. There is, what is that? Is that, oh, it's just dirty? Yeah, it's just dirty. Something on the bottom. It's funny because it looked like a date. I'll look at it next. $2022. A little bit of a grease strike on the bottom. The I is weak in the B. Kind of typical for the 2022s. All right, let's look at this one. Staring at me. Yeah, I figured it. It's just a coin with a lot of junk on it. Otherwise, it's a nice looking penny. All right, we have a copper. 2021. Now the trick is somehow 88. Oh, look at this. I wonder if that's from the die. I wonder if that's from the polishing of the die. What they'll do sometimes is if there's a die clash, they'll polish it. Let's see if we have a die clash on reverse. And we do. You see? You see a nice die clash. But I think they must have a difficulty getting in between the bays. Wow, look how strong that is. So if there's a die clash, they'll polish the die, right? So the die clash comes from the reverse, and that would be Lincoln's head right there, in the back of his back. Nice. I learned that one from Eric Kenai Collectibles. Supposed to be starting a new website soon. Look forward to that. Get a little excitement going on around here, I'm still at the point in my learning where I'm kind of focusing on the 9 classes of double die. I'm going to assume that that's going to take me a little while to get under my belt. Like even extra thickness, it must have took me months before I realized, I thought extra thickness was like, I mean, I was partially right. They do look extra thick, right? So that is part of the definition, which is true. But there needs to be separation, some sort of splitting outside of whatever the feature is. Look at this one, chopped right off. So, and it's similar in a lot of ways. Sometimes very, very similar to mechanical doubling. And learning how to differentiate between those two is well, really important because I was going around calling things double dies that weren't. That's the bottom line. See, the 89, that's what the flare G is, and that's what you want to find on the 88. But you know what? I didn't even check it. It's so funny. That die clash was an 88, right? Wasn't it? I didn't even check for the flare G. It was not a flare G. Look how nice that is, though. That's a beauty. Okay. Moving on. It's another copper cent. I believe so. 64D. Yeah, you gotta watch out with these 64s, man. They're tricky. Look how the line is on the 4. They have a lot of errors in the 64. See, but that's not a double die. Might be mechanical doubling, but that's about it. Nice looking penny. Here goes another 88. Funny, this one also has the scratching on the surface. Maybe imagine they're from the same roll. It can't be. This is from my mother-in-law. See, but this one has the scratching also on the inside. Now you notice it's on the inside of the bay, right? But it's not on the columns, right? Because for some reason the die clash is never on the columns. It's always in between the columns, known also aka the bays, B-A-Y-S, the bays. See, to me, this was a polished die clash. Then do we have? I've got to check the flare G. Oh, that's weak, huh? I don't think it's the flare G though. Right, I'm gonna put this one with the. Well, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what we see. What we see when we see it. Are they worth anything? That's always the next question I get. How much are they worth? I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I don't know. I never really. They don't appear to be valuable. I mean, it's just something that they do to the dies. So they could do 1 million. For all I know, they could do 1 million coins from that polished die. You know what I mean? So to me, that doesn't make it valuable. We got a few copper pennies in here. My swagger did good. Swagger means mother-in-law in Spanish. Swagger. That's what I yell at her when she comes to the house. Swagger. Oh boy, look at this nonsense. Big freaking hair. You see that? Got DNA with this one. 1970. Let me just make sure. It's not worth cleaning. I don't think so. Good. $75. Look how cool that R is. Yeah, deteriorated die. And this looks like, look at this, looks like, what's that called? A grease strike through. See how thick these are, up and down, not left to right. I do have to look at the E. I do have to check this one out though. Let me look at it under the loop. I was shutting off the camera before, pausing it while I was looking at the coins. But sometimes I have interesting thoughts going on while I'm looking at it. And I can't share it, or I'm talking to myself. I mean, I guess I'm still talking to myself, but you know what I mean. You can't hear me talking to myself. Yeah, I'm gonna have to say that's just a deteriorated die. All right. Interesting looking Liberty, right? It's always the Liberty that looks interesting. Well, usually. And again, what I'm trying to see is whether or not, the extra thick is mechanical doubling, some other kind of post, it's not really post mint damage. It's that the die is damaged, or the way the strike has a weird strike. But it's not that the die is doubled, right? Having doubling on a coin doesn't mean that the die is doubled. It means that you have doubling for some reason. Now that is what your job is as an inspector to figure out, right? Why do I see doubling? And 99 out of 100 times, 999 times out of 1,000, it's a lot of copper. It's because it's mechanical, all a deteriorated die. So that is what we are looking out for. Yeah, besides the other stuff. I have, you know what? No, it's upside down. Okay. My bad. .68s, for some reason, they're very close to the rim. You see how wide these letters are? Well, it's funny. I say wide, and I'm ready to say, yeah, that's just because they're close to the rim and they probably got squished. But then I look at the Liberty, and that E definitely has doubling. The only question, again, it's the same question. The E has doubling, the I has doubling, the B has doubling. Right, so there's doubling in the You know, and there's doubling in the motto. On the bottom of the letters in the motto, specifically the U, the R, the D, and the N. The U, the R, the D, and the N have doubling. All right, let me go a little closer so I can show you. On the south, obviously, there is really no north. Look at that R. W. I say the G, the D, both of them, the N. And then you got the Liberty, that the doubling is very apparent in the B, well, the E mostly. Look at that nice doubling in the E. And the B. You can see the line going up the side, and the I. Right? Now, do you have to find, specific markers on this coin for it to be a double die, like in the cherry pickers or something like that? Well, that's, that would take a whole nother, that's a whole nother thing. Look how clean this is, and the reverse, look how damaged it is. Look how strong. So this is caused by a machine, right? So what happened was, probably, well, it depends where it obviously it rubbed on this side, but I don't know if the mechanics were on the top or the mechanics were on the bottom. But what it could have been, let's say it was like this inside of a coin machine, right? Then the coin machine has something on the top that pushes it, and it got stuck, and then it kept on trying to eject it, and only one side, right? This is the side that was getting scraped, so this is the only side you'll see the damage on. Now, what's the big question, right? Is it from an ejector at the mint, or was this an ejector outside the mint? You want to know the truth? You ain't never gonna know, man. That's what I've learned in all this time. The only feeder finger that I have found that really matters is when it's a feeder finger that's identified as a that there's a mark, that it's identified by someone, right? A numismatist. And you'll see there'll be a little line here, and it'll tell you the date and the line. It'll tell you the exact coin, and it'll show you an example of the exact feeder finger era. And I found one once. I was like, oh, look at this line. It looks like a feeder finger. And then I went and I found the exact coin. I found a reference that showed the same year, the same coin with the same line in it. And that's the only way to know. This here, there's no one who puts stuff like this up on a website to identify as an error. Is it cool looking? Yeah, it's cool. It's definitely cool. But it's not worth anything, unfortunately. And I found plenty of them. I wish they were worth money. That'd be great, but they're not. All right, we'll keep going. Sometimes if I do too much examination, think fire damage, nah, sintered. How dark it is, even on the edges. It's a sintered scent. Also not worth anything. Sintered scents, but I've never seen anybody a big demand for sintered scents. Now they have some that are really red. I like those. And to me, those have a little bit of a value just because they're a novelty. And when I say a little bit, I mean like what? $2, $3, maybe $5 if it's a really, really clean example. So not much at all. Who knows? You might have it listed for a year before you find someone to give you $5. So we got, what do we got? We got like 10 copper pennies out of this. That's great, man. That's 20%. That's tremendous. In 2025, if you're still getting 25% copper out of your penny rolls, you're golden. I picked up some pennies. Was it yesterday or the day before? The past couple of days I went, and I think it was the day before yesterday. Yeah, it was Thursday. And what did I do? Oh, that's when I got the silver Kennedy. I went into the first bank and I said, "Hey, do you have any pennies?" She said, "Oh, we got us $2 for 4 rolls." I said, "All right." And I'm looking at her counter, and she has, and I see it looking. I see Kennedy staring right at me, but super tarnished. And I was like, I wonder if that's a silver Kennedy. So I said, "Oh, can I have your Kennedys too?" And she had 4 Kennedys. I didn't say, just give me the silver one, Then maybe she got upset at me, So I said, "Oh, let me get the 4 Kennedys." She gave me the 4, and yeah, it was a 66, and the 66s are, that's a nice one. The 66s are 40% silver, so they're worth about $5-6. Super tarnished. I couldn't find any of them that would tarnish like that. I don't know if that would get a premium or not. But still, I went in there, I spent $4, and I left with an extra $5.50. Another nice doubling. Look at this. And this is our last coin mojo. And you know what's cool about this is the doublings on the right side. Oh, not really. The R looks like it's on the left. The B's on the right. I thought the E was on the right too. Floating roof. Nope. Yeah, it has some mechanical doubling on the reverse also. Let me look at this Liberty under the loop, and just to make sure it is. Now, when I say make sure, all I mean is, within reasonable certainty. Yeah, it's just nice mechanical doubling. Let me look at the reverse while I got it in my hand. Yeah, you can see some of it. It's mechanical doubling. It's deteriorated die. It might even be abrasion. There's some lines in the letters. On the reverse, anyway. Under a microscope, these letters will look beautiful, But again, it's just deteriorated die. Mechanical doubling. How nice the B looks. How cool is that? All right, that's all we got for today. If we found anything that was, I think the best penny we found today was this die clash was nice. It's probably the nicest penny we found today. We got that centered cent. And I'm looking at this one now. This one looks like it might even have some nah, it's just dirty. I thought maybe it had some lamination, something going on with it too. And no double die, right? No. All right. Episode 443. I will see you in episode 444. God bless.